Hey everybody, this is Zach from Say What Zach here, doing the NHL and American Hockey, well, more NHL, I guess. I don't really preview a lot of the American Hockey League yet, but that's the first I'm going to start with. But this will be the preview for the National Hockey League for Friday, December 27th. It's a big night, first day back after Christmas break, so got a lot of games going on. It's a big weekend. On the note now for the American Hockey League. So I had the standings up here at the board and written a little small. Didn't like it as much. I've been working on stuff I've been telling you about. If you saw my Christmas video, you would just know that we got the some of the stickers in. Still waiting for the other half. So we have a new whiteboard for the American Hockey League standings. And as you can see, we're making magnets for all the teams. These are the teams we have so far. Don't have all of them in the mail yet. Hopefully they'll be here in the next couple days. We'll make them the magnets. And this will be on the board or on the wall with all the standings for the American Hockey League. So that'll be a lot nicer and a lot easier for you guys to see who's where and all that fun stuff. And if it works out pretty well, I might actually try and fit in one on this side, the same size as the National Hockey League standings, the full 31 teams. So it will be a lot easier for you guys to kind of keep track of them instead of their little boards with the handwriting on them. And also, if you haven't been watching the 2020 World Juniors, I have the standings here, going to be updated constantly as well, so you guys will be able to kind of keep track of that a little bit if you just watch NHL stuff. But anyways, that's their little review. And then also, I'm wearing Capitals and Winnipeg stuff, so if you keep track of the top line videos, these are the last two teams I have to do. But a subscriber did comment about how they would like to hear a little bit more about how the lines meshing better, like together and better. So I paused on those until I watch these games tomorrow. So I'll be watching both these games, try and get a little bit more of a feel of how these players and these lines are playing better together. And then I'll put out those last two top line videos. And also, over the Christmas break, we started doing the Funko Pop unboxings. So you guys can kind of see some of the Funko Pops, see them up close and personal. And you can see the NHL Funkos in person. Some people have said they didn't even know they had NHL Funkos. So you can watch those as well. Anyways, that's my little rant about what's been going on the last few days. Let's get into the National Hockey League. Your games for tomorrow. You got the New Jersey Devils taking on the Toronto Maple Leafs at 7 p.m. The Devils are 12-19-5. The Maple Leafs are 20-14-4 and currently sit second in the Atlantic Division with 44 points. The season series is tied at 0-0, so that's what the little numbers are here. That's the season series. I didn't write season series in there. A lot of writing doing tonight. This is my third video tonight. A lot of writing. Minimize where I can. Anyways, this should be a Toronto Maple Leafs win. Again, coming off a nice break. Frederik Andersen's been playing pretty good. The team as a whole has been playing pretty good. Mitch Marner with an amazing game the day before the break started. That was an awesome game. Poor defensive side. Amazing game, though, for Matthews and Marner, stuff like that. Anyways, I would think that the Toronto Maple Leafs come out with a win here. New Jersey has been playing better as of late after trading Taylor Hall and having that to kind of off their shoulders. They haven't been playing better of late, but I think Toronto's starting to come into their own and show that this is going to be a team that's going to push for a high playoff spot and possibly a cup run here. So I think Toronto's going to come out on top. Next game, Buffalo taking on Boston at 7 p.m. as well. This series is led 1-0 by the Bruins. The Sabres are 17-14-7, and the Bruins are 22-7-9. So Boston has been slipping a little bit as of late. They did annihilate the Capitals in the last game before the break. But yeah, they've been struggling a little bit. Not as bad as Buffalo. Buffalo has been playing better as of late. But yeah, they're sitting outside of a playoff spot only by 1 point, but the Atlantic Division is so clustered. They got to win every game they can, and this is a big one. If they can pull out a win, even if it's not in regulation against Boston, that would be huge for their confidence and in their position in the standings. So that'll be an interesting one. Even though I'm thinking Boston's going to pull that one out, just because Boston I think is a better team. But I'm hoping for Buffalo. So I'm hoping for Buffalo, thinking it's going to be Boston, if that helps you guys. Anyways, I always cheer for the underdog, so you'll see that when we start doing the playoffs as well. Cheer usually for the underdog in the playoff series if I'm not invested in either team. Next game, 7 p.m. start time for the Rangers taking on the Carolina Hurricanes. The Rangers are 17-15-4, and the Hurricanes 22-13-2. The season series, though, is led 2-0 by the Rangers. I was surprised to see that. The Rangers have had the Carolina Hurricanes number this year, which is surprising. But then again, the Rangers have not been playing bad. They're sitting 8 points out of a playoff spot right now. very low chances they're going to make the playoffs at this point, but they have been fighting teams. They've been showing that they could be really good next year, maybe. If one of these teams drops next year and isn't as good next year, Rangers could definitely push into one of those spots. Carolina, holding on to that last playoff spot. They're not within, nobody's within super close striking distance. Your next closest would be Florida, Buffalo, I guess Tampa and Columbus are all within 5 and 6 points of Carolina, but still, it's a decent enough cushion where if they can keep a nice winning streak here, like win 2, lose 1, win 3, we'll lose 2 kind of thing going on, they should stay relevant and stay in this playoff spot and give us 5 teams from the Metro. So I'm thinking Carolina should win that one. New York, possibly. They haven't played good, and they've obviously had their number this year. Next game, 7 p.m. start time for the Capitals taking on the Columbus Blue Jackets. Capitals 26-7-5. Columbus Blue Jackets 17-14-6. Again, surprise on this one. Jackets have the season series lead 2-0 in this one. So the Jackets have won both meetings against the Capitals this year. I don't know if the Capitals just taking them too lightly or what, but I mean, Columbus has been pushing, and again, they're 6 points out of a playoff spot, but again, if they can go on a little bit of a win streak, especially starting here in Washington, it would be a huge confidence boost, and they would be within 4 of Carolina if Carolina loses the Rangers tomorrow. So that's something they have to look at. Just keep winning, keep plugging away, and hopefully one of these teams will drop and they can push into it. So we'll see. Honestly, I'm hoping for Columbus only because, again, I went to the arena. I love the people there. It was a great experience in Columbus. Washington, I think, again, they've got this division locked up. I personally think they're going to take this division and possibly the President's Trophy, even though St. Louis may have something to say about that. But yeah, I guess I'd be cheering more for the Blue Jackets in this game, but I think Washington's going to pull this one out. But we'll see. Next game is starting at 8 p.m. You got the Colorado Avalanche and the Minnesota Wild playing, and that is on NBC Sports Network if you're here in the States, so I'm going to try and catch that one as well. Colorado's 23-11-3. Minnesota's 18-15-5. The season series is tied at 1 apiece, so they've split the season series. Big game for Colorado, but mainly for Minnesota, I would say. If they have any hopes of staying relevant, they need this win. They are currently 2 points back of Calgary, 3 points back of Dallas, and Winnipeg. They need this to stay relevant and stay in that hunt, especially with Nashville starting to pick up their game. They've got to start winning these games, especially against big opponents that are ahead of them. They need to win them. So again, cheering for Minnesota in this game because I'd like to see them do good, even though most fans probably want them to do bad so they can get a better draft pick and kind of do a little bit of a rebuild. We'll see. Again, I also am cheering for Colorado. I think Colorado's one of the best teams in the league. So I think it'll be a fun matchup overall. And my favorite logo. I love Minnesota's logo. I love their colors, and I love their logo. Anyways, next game. 8 p.m. start time for the Nashville Predators taking on the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Predators are 18-12-6. The Penguins are 21-11-4. Season series is 0-0. They haven't played yet. This will be the first matchup for the season. Nashville's been playing much better as of late. They are 1 point behind Calgary, and 2 points behind Dallas and Winnipeg. So again, if they can start putting together some of these wins that they have been, and Saros starts playing a little bit better, this team could definitely push and start pushing for top 2, top 3 of the division for sure. I would think that Pittsburgh, they could possibly take Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh's so hard to tell. Again, with all the injuries, and yet they're still winning. It's amazing. I mean, this is such a tough matchup. I don't know. I know it will be an ugly matchup. I hate the gold and yellow. I don't like that color scheme. Nashville's is a little bit better, I think, than Pittsburgh's, but still, I don't like that color scheme. It's not my favorite. So it's not a very pretty game, if you will, color-wise. But anyways, I'm going to say probably, I'm hoping for Nashville. Pittsburgh, I think, might win, though. We'll see. So pretty much everyone I'm hoping for is probably going to lose, if you haven't noticed that trend here yet. Anyways, the next game, 8 p.m. start time for the Winnipeg Jets and the St. Louis Blues. Also, all the people I want to win are also the underdogs. Winnipeg against St. Louis at 8 p.m. 21-14-2 are the Winnipeg Jets, and the Blues are 24-8-6. The season series is 0-0, so this is the first meeting of the Central Division rivals here. As you can see, 10 points separate them, so St. Louis isn't really dying for this, and also St. Louis is 5 points now ahead of Colorado. Colorado has kind of died out a little bit. They're still good, but definitely losing that giving St. Louis a little bit of a gap here now. So St. Louis, if they lose this game, no big deal. Winnipeg, I think it's a big game coming back, trying to, again, maintain ahead of Dallas and Calgary, honestly, because if they drop down, they could drop out if they don't keep winning streaks going. So I would say this is a very important game, more for Winnipeg than for St. Louis. St. Louis obviously would like to win and stay at the top of the division, pad that cushion a little bit more, but definitely more important for Winnipeg, and that's the team I'd be pulling for more in this game, just because St. Louis, again, they've got enough comfy lead there, I think, but they could definitely pull it out. I don't know. That one's a tough one as well, because Winnipeg can score. St. Louis could score, but they have good, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. All depending on Connor Hellebuyck. See if Connor Hellebuyck can, sustain it. Next game, you got at 8:30 p.m., you got the Blackhawks taking on the New York Islanders. The Blackhawks are 15-17-6. The Islanders are 23-9-3. The season series is 0-0, so they have not played yet. Chicago, 36 points right now. So, very slim chance they'll make the playoffs. Again, they could have to go on a massive win streak. Plus, Seabrook and DeHaan are both out for the rest of the season. Those are big losses. Not so much Seabrook because he's not a big contributor yet, but still hurts to see players miss out, especially key players have been so important for them for so long. We'll see. We'll see. They have some injury problems. They have cap problems. Chicago is definitely having some problems right now all over the place. So we'll see. If they can put together some win streaks, it'd be nice. It would be surprising to see. That's all I'm gonna say. Islanders again, pushing, trying to stay relevant to catch up with Capitals for the lead in the Metro. I don't think it's gonna happen, but we'll see. I do like the Islanders. I would like to see them win again, just because again I like what Barry Trotz has brought to this team. Lulea Murillo, I liked it. I really started liking him last year when they started doing that push. I was cheering for Robin Lehner, and I kind of became a fan of the Islanders. So I would like to see him win, but again, we'll find out in a few hours, right? Next game, 9 p.m. is the Oilers and the Flames. I was surprised. They have not played yet. I thought they had played at least once. They have not played, so that was surprising. So it's a 0-0 season series. The Oilers are 20-16-4. The Flames are 19-15-5. You got both in playoff spots, but not securely. Again, Flames are 1 point back of the Oilers. Oilers are 44 points, so 2 points back of Arizona and Vegas. Vegas plays tonight as well, so that's a big point too. So this is, I would say, probably one of the biggest games of the night because Calgary can knock Edmonton into a wild card spot with a victory and pull within 1 point of the division leaders. So that's a big game for Calgary. I don't know. Again, depending on Leon Draisaitl and McDavid, if they can carry them through the Flames, that's a big deal. But I think Calgary is going to pull this one out. Mike Smith's been struggling a little bit lately. Koskinen's been pretty good, but I feel like Calgary is going to want this, especially with how close they are in the standings. They're going to want these wins, especially against the Pacific Division rivals. They want these wins. I could definitely see Edmonton being one of those teams that might drop into a wild card and maybe even drop out because of the wild card position. So we'll see on that one. That's one I'm going to be looking forward to watching as well. San Jose taking on the LA Kings at 10 p.m. San Jose is 16-20-2. The Kings are 15-20-4. Sharks lead this season series 2-0. So these games, again, the Kings and Sharks are both tied with 34 points. No real chance of them probably making the playoffs at this point. They're pretty far out. So that's looking really good if you're an Ottawa Senators fan, because Ottawa, again, gets San Jose's first round draft pick this year. Not looking good for San Jose. They got to figure out something. Maybe even, I don't know if it's a rebuild or retooling. They got to figure out something. Some of their rookies are not producing like they were hoping for. Carlson and Burns have a lot of cap hit on them. I don't know. I'm not sure what San Jose does, but I think they've got to move maybe something and try and shed a couple cap hits if they can. Maybe hope for some good draft picks. We'll see. I'm not sure. Maybe try and get back that first rounder from someone else if they can. Don't know who they even move if they try to do that. But yeah, it's not looking great for San Jose and LA. I don't know. Again, same kind of position where they got to shed. I think they need to shed some cap hit. Wouldn't be surprised if they move a goaltender. I don't know. It's two teams in kind of a similar position of they're both struggling with some cap stuff, some older players, and not sitting in anywhere near a playoff spot. So it's interesting. It's one of those games where it's not super important in the standings, but if you're a California team, obviously the big rivalry between these teams. So if you're a big fan of either one of these teams, definitely a game you want to watch. Won't be one of the games that I'm going to be super close attention to because of the fact that it doesn't have a lot of standing implications in here. So that won't be one I pay a whole lot of attention to. I'll try and catch some highlights here and there. I'll switch between the games, but especially being a 10 o'clock game, it'll be one of the few on late, so I'll probably catch at least some of the third for sure. But I will be watching the other game at 10 p.m., which is the Ducks taking on the Golden Knights, because Golden Knights are trying to take first place in the division with the win over the Ducks. The Ducks are 15, 18, and 4, and the Golden Knights are 20, 14, and 6. The Golden Knights lead the season series 1-0. And honestly, showing how good the Knights have been playing as of late, and where the Ducks and the Knights are in the standings, I think the Knights are going to take this one, and I would like to see them take it. Not because I'm a huge Arizona fan. I like to see Arizona win, just because again they're kind of underdogs for so long. I want to see the Arizona Coyotes win something, but I also want to see Vegas kind of push them. I think if they get a little bit of more contention for that top spot, maybe they'll push them to do a little bit better. So, yeah, I would like to see the Knights win this one. I think they will win this one. I can't see the Ducks taking down the Golden Knights, but we'll see. But yeah, those are your games for Friday, December 27th. Getting close to New Year's, and we will be doing a New Year Winter Classic kind of review. Me and Drunk Conk and I have already talked about it. We want to do a video probably New Year's Eve about just our favorite Winter Classics. We've watched every single one of them together except for the very first one we missed. We've watched all of them from 2009 up to current. So it's an event we enjoy and we look forward to every year. So we'll talk about it and look forward to the one that's happening in January 1st at the Cotton Bowl. But anyways, that is the games, your current NHL standings real quick. Sorry, getting back in the routine. The Coyotes are first place in Pacific, 46. Vegas is tied with them and second with 46. Oilers are hanging on that third spot with 44. In your Central, you got the Blues at 54 in the first place. Colorado with 49 in second. Winnipeg at 44 points, you get third. Your wild cards, Dallas in first wild card with 44 points. Calgary in your second wild card with 43 points. Over in the East, you got the Atlantic, you got 53 points for Boston. 44 points for second place for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And 42 points for Montreal for third. I would love to see Montreal and Toronto play in the first round. That'd be awesome. In the matchup, you got the Washington Capitals 57 points, first in the division still. New York Islanders at 49 points, second. Flyers are in third place with 47. And then your two wild cards, Pittsburgh with 46 in your first wild card, and Carolina with 46 in the second wild card. So those are your current standings before tonight's games. Again, I will update the American Hockey League standings until we get the rest of the madness. It will stay like this. But then once we get that, we'll see the new board. But yeah, guys, this is Zach from Sit With Zach. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give us a like and subscribe. And I hope you guys have a fun-filled day of hockey. And I will talk to you guys later.